Good morning, everyone. It's Joker, and today we are back with another slime video, part 2 of the EX2 beatdown battle versus the Fount of Wisdom units, I guess, but it's for the Sparkle of Youth team. So, yesterday we used a couple of teams. We used the new Sparkle of Youth, the free-to-play version, the free-run team, and God forbid the Divine General team. And today we are back to use two more very, very long form, long turn limit kind of teams to take on this quest, which has 6.3 million HP. So, this team, this meta, the stage is built around passive damage from the Reckoning effect, and Reckoning is just the power crept version of Vengeance, which came out in August of 2023 or something like that. So, Vengeance is what we're going to use first, and while it technically works, the Vengeance stacks work based off of the enemy's attack, which you can see is not very high. So it's going to take Vengeance a hot minute to actually do 6.3 million HP worth of damage. So let's just go ahead and jump into that. Okay, so this is the team that I'm going to use for Vengeance. Obviously, you can build it however you want. Diablo, easily replaceable, but we're going to try and get him to allow us to use multiple stacks of Vengeance in one turn, so we can just build up to that 99 cap as quickly as possible. And then Lumi is going to heal us because we're going to be here for a very, very, very long time. We need to be able to heal some damage, and she's an orb changer. Young was a free-to-play Vengeance character. He's important. Raphael, the character for Vengeance, he's very important. And then free-to-play Space Sufia to take care of the orange orbs. So we have Yom for blues, Sufia for oranges, Lumi for a special convert, and then Vengeance Velzard. And this team takes literally forever to do this. But you can do it reasonably safely, right? So we're going at 200% hyperspeed. This is the fastest I can make it go without just skipping around, but we're going to skip around. You guys, if you're using Vengeance on this fight, you understand how Vengeance works, and you know what to do with that. This isn't like new players aren't coming in like, oh, I just pulled the Vengeance meta. How do you work? No, because you don't have access to that. You can't pull the Vengeance units right now. So people who are relegated to doing this because they don't want to summon for the current Sparkle of Youth meta, like, I totally get it. It's you can skip this meta, you'll be okay. I don't foresee it making a huge, it's not going to be as impactful as what Vengeance was when it first came out, and then Vengeance was the best team in the game for like 7 months or something, and then they started nerfing the crap out of it. No, Vengeance is already nerfed, which means that the new Sparkle of Youth team is going to be nerfed again in the future. So we're on turn 3. We already have 21 stacks of Vengeance, and they're not even hitting yet because it doesn't activate till turn 5. So once it hits turn 5, I'll try and pause, and we'll see how much damage the Vengeance does at turn 5, and then you'll understand why this is going to take literally forever to do. So turn 4 kicks over 32 stacks. Alright, cool, let's reset. Sufia can change those oranges. Great, awesome, incredible, amazing. We'll bring Lumi in. The reason we need to bring Lumi to heal is because while their normal orbs and their ults don't really do that much damage right now, the instant damage skills hit us for HP percentages, which does, a decent amount, 10% of our HP. And if they do that a couple of times, then you're 10, 20, it's going to add up. So you need to be able to counteract that with a heal. So this is turn 5. There's already 45 stacks of Vengeance on them, and it caps at 99. And once you hit 99, you cannot add any more, and you're just going to be stuck at whatever 99 stacks of Vengeance does. So after this turn is over, and whatever we're going to be at, I'll try and pause as best I can on the damage, and you can kind of get an idea. So multi-use skill, more Vengeance, okay. Got 50 points, so we can use one more Vengeance if we wanted to, but we're not. So let's see. We're already over 51. We're 51 stacks. 52, 56. Alright. Vengeance. It does 181,000 damage. 167 over here because Gopta has a higher attack stat. That's with 60 stacks right there. and that's over halfway capped out. So we're only going to do, maybe 250k or something at full stack. So if we jump ahead to, let's see, turn 8, we're up to 89 stacks. Actually, let's go turn 9, 99 stacks. This is the cap. We cannot go any higher. And we do 299,000 damage on Rimuru, 276 on Gobta. And that's the limit. That is as much damage as Vengeance is going to do for the entirety of the fight. And the enemies have 6.3 million HP. And you're cutting that off in 250k chunks. So we're on turn 10. Okay, well, another Vengeance. Oh yeah, the health is going down. You're certainly right. It's gonna take a long time for that to actually go down to actually kill them. So there's more Vengeance. You can use the defense skills from Yom and Raphael if you really want to, in case like you're afraid of their nuke, because once you hit like turn, 20, and they're getting down low on HP, but Rimuru constantly stacks AoE damage, and Gobta is stacking ult resistance down on us. So eventually, Rimuru's AoE ult is actually going to hurt quite a bit, which is why we're actually missing some HP, plus the instant damage, which is again why we need to have a healing character here. If I were to not bring a heal, we would have died already. So we would have died probably 5 turns ago. So it's very important. Like, this ult from Rimuru is going to hurt. So let's see how much it hurts. 13,000 damage. So you see that, we're actually kind of low now. Albus is single target, so she does shit still. Gobta doesn't hit very hard either, because he doesn't have the AoE buff. It's only Rimuru that really does scary damage towards the end of the fight. So you do have to make sure that you are properly healing. I probably should have put a heal charm on Velzard, or something like that, but having access to Diablo, and maybe the multi-use skill so you can heal twice in a turn, that's pretty impactful alongside resetting the heal from Lumi. Like, that's going to be pretty important. And managing your HP, because you can see that we're kind of topped up in the back, but let's heal there. And then we technically could heal again if we wanted to. But we're going to spread the damage out. They're almost dead. So we've almost made it at 24 turns. Alright, instant, cool. Yep, another ult. Alright, yep, they're almost dead. So here I'm going to bank on us being able to kill, so I don't have to deal with Rimuru's ult. So we're going to use the synergy buff because it's long been unsealed, and we're going to try and send all these orbs and just try and kill Rimuru here. So 47k, shit damage, and thankfully with this 200% orb, it does actually kill Rimuru. So we don't have to worry about his massively buffed AoE ult anymore. And now we just, again, wait for Vengeance to kill them. So, yep, cool, and yep, and Vengeance comes in, and does that kill? Sure doesn't. Okay, so we're going to go to turn 20, the end of turn 27, to actually win this fight with the Vengeance team. And bringing, other characters that have Vengeance, like Veldora and Furry Shuna, like, yeah, sure, you could maybe put some extra stacks on more quickly, but it still caps at 99. And it's still based off the enemy's attack stat, which is fairly low. So it's probably going to take you around 27, 28 turns or more, depending on how fast you can get to those 99 stacks to begin with, before you actually win this fight. So Vengeance can do it. You're going to be here for quite a long time, though. Alright, and the other long-form team, if you have access to them, is going to be the Idolmaster team. This actually has a water AoE character in Shizuko, so it's actually going to work a little bit better. And it's stacking, but also you're literally invincible. So if you don't have access to the idols, obviously this is not a team you can get anymore. It was a collab. They will never come back. But because they can make themselves invincible, you don't really have to worry about taking any kind of damage. And because you're stacking with the live mode, you're stacking with the weakness strike eventually from Shizuka, you're stacking with the magic buff from Protector Rimuru, he's handling your orb converts, you're gonna be looking pretty good. It just takes forever for Shizuka to get to a point where you're nuking down 6.3 million worth of HP, which she doesn't actually do in like one shot. This is a war of attrition here, because you can't take damage and they can. So here, we'll bring Isis in and we'll use the green buff. Rimuru does passively reset, if you're in the front line, but if you're in the front line and you're not Pretty Sparkle, then you're not going to be invincible. So you can see that Isis will take some hits here, but the other two, they'll be fine. So, boom, alright, 24k, yep, invincible, but Isis took that instant damage and she took that one too, but the other two didn't. And now at this point, you're just stacking. So I'm accidentally, I used both live modes that second turn, because I'm always used to using one live mode in Shizuka's skill and then the other turn, the other live mode while they reset their costs, but I was an idiot. Not a super huge big deal. But you get 2% permanent attack per green orb with live mode active. You get 12% magic attack every time you use Rimuru. Once Shizuka is unsealed, you can start stacking Weakness Strike, which matters because Shizuka's water, and she's AoE, so that's going to make her ults and just normal orbs hit harder and harder. So you're constantly stacking, and when this team came out in December of 2023, it was really good. You were literally invincible. And this is another reason why enemies started removing status effects, because they didn't want you to be invincible for the entire game, for every single meta that ever releases. So now enemies can wipe out your vengeance stacks because they can remove the debuffs. They can wipe out your status effects, which takes away the invincibility mechanic. Or more recently, the Prosper Lumi Resurrection state, the 3-turn full heal and revive thing. They can wipe that out too. And they can certainly, in the future, or past events, they can wipe away the Reckoning status, the healing absorption state from Hinata. And that's what worries me about people summoning for this meta right now, is because it's going to work really, really, really well. And it's a really, really good team, as long as they don't cleanse you, which they have shown that they don't really want you to be invincible the entire time. So they're going to remove those statuses from you in the future, just like they have been doing for the past year and change or something, because like the idols were a problem, vengeance was a problem, they recognized that those teams were problems, and they appropriately removed the problem. So we're on turn 8, like we've done sizable damage. It just takes forever to stack, and now that we've been unsealed, we can start using the stacking Weakness Strike from Shizuka. And let's just go ahead and jump ahead. Like, as long as you activate Rimuru, you're not going to take any damage, and they can't do anything about it. So that last turn, I didn't use Rimuru, but now we are. And so now we're really not, we're just big chillin', and you just need to wait until you do enough damage to just take somebody out. Because you can use every single type of buff, if you want to on some turns, you can use the synergy power from Shuna, so we're going to do that here. We have an EX ult with 2 characters, so we're going to do decent damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, damage 200k, 288k, sure. They have 6.3 million, and we're cutting them down by bits and pieces, but at least we legitimately cannot die. So if we jump ahead to turn 17, they're halfway dead, and we're still alive. We're still big chillin'. I think there was a turn where I didn't use Rimuru and I took a big time ult from Rimuru, and that's why Shuna was a little bit under-healed, but now we're fine. Shizuka also heals you when you use that Weakness Strike skill, so like you're gonna be topped up, and yeah, well, look at this. No, yeah, it hurts. It hurts a lot. Not really. So live mode, another synergy buff, and the future hand of green orbs, and now we're invincible, and now we're gonna send this, and we're gonna do more damage. 1 million right there. So we've got to the point where Shizuka's ults are doing a million damage with the synergy buff, which is good. So now Rimuru's dead. So that's 1 person down. So now we're at turn 20, and we've removed 1 problem. The biggest problem, quite honestly, is Rimuru. So if you ever need to kill somebody, you should kill Rimuru first. But it doesn't really matter because we're still invincible, and nothing is going to change that fact. So these are 2 long format teams that are quite old, but can get the job done. Idols obviously being quite limited because you either have them or you don't, and there's no way to get them back. Vengeance has been around even longer than the Idols and can get it done, but it takes 27 turns instead of 23 or 24 or whatever this is going to take. Are there other teams that can do this? You know, maybe the Overlord team. I honestly didn't want to try that team. But, you know, maybe if you're able to really single target nuke down Rimuru quickly, like, you'll be able to survive to some extent. Certainly something you can attempt to try. Are there water characters on Stern of Spirit? I'm sure there are. Let me take a look at that while the rest of this clip runs. Stern of Spirit. Maribel. Oh, clip's over. Okay, well, there you go. So the Idols can do it, Vengeance can do it. Let's pull this over really fast and let's look at this. So Stern of Spirit does have some water characters. Maribel, Shinsha, Rain. This Hinata's on Stern of Spirit. So you could attempt to make some kind of Overlord team. What would that look like? Quite honestly. So let's save troop. Do I have Overlord saved somewhere? Yeah. Okay. So, like, discounting Shizuka, I'm assuming you're not going to have her. You could bring, like, that second anniversary Hinata, being a water magic AoE character, and you could attempt to do this and stack and try and do as much damage as possible. Like, I might make that its own video. But that is certainly maybe an option. If someone wants to try that and let me know, please be my guest. But otherwise, that's going to do it for this video. Vengeance and Idols is what I wanted to focus on today. But that's it for me, guys. Take it easy, and I'll see you all later.